I'm going to present some paintings, and I'm going to start small. Here we have the psychic telephone. The first one of the litter. As you guys can see, there's actually some other psychic telephones here, but this one was the very first one. So it's prominent to me because I didn't know what it was yet. And then I just painted this circle kind of randomly to me and a line, and then I just went, whoa. And all of a sudden I linked in, and if you sit and gaze, close your eyes just for a moment if you can, even the camera guy, just for a second if you can, but you don't have to, and open to the thought that perhaps other people's thoughts are not your own. In fact, they're not. And as that closes the windows to other people's thought forms, ask yourself this: what are your own? And guess what? They're beautiful. Probably something about your gifts. Like if you're a cameraman, you're thinking, is the camera angle right? But maybe if you're a painter, you're thinking, is the paintbrush stroke just right? And that's kind of like what you'd be thinking. It's kind of like when people go into judgment about other people and you feel their field. But guess what? They're judging themselves. And you already knew that, but what if they didn't? What if no one in your present company, and it will be that so, you guys are now not judging yourselves to each other? Isn't that a beautiful field? What a great way to start. So that's psychic telephone number 1. And it linked you all in to the fact that there's just a few more paintings. All right, so I got that. Number 2. You can open your eyes if you want. So here we have happiness. Just look at the painting. Does it look happy to you? It's a happy painting. It's got a big smile. Zoop. And this just looks happy. Kind of like its arms are anchored up to happiness. Like, hallelujah, life is good. So while this painting has an anchor, and I'll show you, this is a chakra system. So everybody has one. I'm sure you guys all know chakra systems. It's just the fluidity of nature to sky, to ground, and then everything in between, which is your heart and stuff. And then we got an anchor. It anchors you to the sky. Hallelujah, praise the sky. The night sky, the moon sky, the star sky, and also the celestial sky. Also the sun sky with the clouds, birds, planes, and just about anything you could name in the sky, maybe bugs. So these lines here actually represent the heart map, the heart math. So just like with the psychic telephone, something is feeding you thoughts, and in this case it's your heart. Now that you don't feel other people's judgments, and you all won't with each other from now on, forever, just because you accepted that guy over there, like, that sounds fun. I don't want to hear other people's judgments to themselves because it makes me judge myself. That's all that ever was, and it creates shadow between relationships. But you don't have to have that. So then here we insert happiness into that place. Because guess what? Everyone loves to dance and laugh and play games. Everyone in the whole world. That's equal. And so we just want to talk about equality with happiness. What makes each person happy probably makes another. A hug, a smile, zoop, and it makes the whole world go around. Sharing food, that's simplicity. And then everyone has a deep nature to something to themselves. So maybe the camera guy likes making videos, and maybe the painter likes painting. And everyone to each their own. In all preferences, happiness, please. So this is just a reverence to that. May we be happy with our dreams. So hurrah to that. All right, so that's number 2. We have, this one's very important actually to what we were just talking about. It means peace on earth. So you can't really have happiness when there's not peace on earth between people. So again, I'll just teach, as the paintings taught me as I was painting, and it was a little more intense when I was doing it. But I can just hand you the wealth of it, if you choose it in your meditation. So this line is the balance for your chakra system, just like with all the paintings with the center line that you'll see a lot of them have. This is an anchor to the sky, but these ones go down because no more. No more to the genetic reprogramming that our forefathers gave us. It was good for them, but sometimes it's still good for us if it's talking about the good stuff, but kind of like the past is in the past. So that's kind of an evolved thing, that genetic reprogramming is still in shame from yesterday, as we kind of know. That happens a lot in this day and age. So the shame from yesterday could be gone if you choose that. It's up to you though. All of this is just poetry, and it's just my symbology to it. But for me, it's enhanced a lot of freedom and grace. So I'm just presenting them as an offering. So these lines, and they're fluid, represent the Pleiadian background. A lot of people think the Pleiadians are from an alien realm, but they're actually here within the backdrop of healing. So healing is an ancestry. So instead of having ancestry, of course we love our grandparents and we keep them for our genetic awesome programs, like our nose is cute because my grandma, or I sew and knit because my grandma did, or I paint because my father did. Those are good things. We don't want to keep the shame of war and stuff in times of heroic, but that was good for them. So we move on and say, keeping the good stuff into my healing legacy. So we can move on from the past where they needed to heal from wreckage because awful things did happen, but let's not bring it now. We can honor it and say, they found freedom. That's really good. And we just move on through healing. So it goes kind of fast, but your souls understand that if you choose it. So it's just a guided meditation for now. And it's so good to see you all here. So that's that one. It moves quick because it's kind of boring to sit around and look at paintings. Okay. The next one. Where did you go? Aha. Just a sip of water. And to cleanse the palate. All right. How many anchors do you see in this guy? A lot. Well, there's 4, as you can see. Shoomp, 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 shoomp. So this locks you into your tribe mentality. So it's not a bad thing to say it like that if you just think it's your family. Like you guys are a family at Fantasy Cabin. This is just a sweet little family, and Barb's here a lot too. So, and I'm here often enough, so I just feel like part of the family because they invite us so equally, and it's just so great, but also rare. So we have this. This is actually for you guys. This probably wants to live at Fantasy Cabin because it means when I came here and you guys were like, you want to play games? You want to go on a hike? You want to have food? You want to eat pasta? Let's go for dinner? You're just inclusive, right? Inclusive. You are inclusive. So we're like, man, you know what feels good? Hanging out at the Fantasy Cabin. So everyone wants to come here all the time. Like, who doesn't? And then we got this guy. This is the parents in Legacy. Tayama actually learned about this painting yesterday. So Legacy is like, for me and for this, just as a teaching from what I've learned anyway. And you can choose it if you want or not. It's up to you. So it's with freedom, of course. This is just what I've learned. But this top line is like legacy. So if you're married, Tada and Tayama have legacy. Like, you guys are the parents of this place. So people kind of like crash into you guys a bit like, Dad, or like, Tayama, can I have a hug, right? A little bit. But there's strength in it because you just keep doing it in one spot. But if you move, you can do it again. It's just like, there's so much strength in that. People will remember this, and people will remember it for a long time. Like, if I just blip off the map now, I'll be like, Fantasy Cabin was a legacy to me. But I probably would like to come back again. And so this one is from the past a little bit. So kind of like teenage love, maybe. Like premarital. When you're kind of looking for that right person. And we love doing that because it's honeymoon phase. This is the honeymoon phase that leads to legacy. And everyone can sit under that. Even the next honeymoon phase. Like when your son decides to find a girlfriend, you can sit within the fact that you and Tayama have a really great relationship. Or for whoever, whichever family that we're talking about, because it's just like that. Even if people split up, that one just goes away. And then this line would go like that for a while. Like, I just need to strengthen in, because that's like obviously possible with souls, that they're like, actually, I just need to end this contract and then move toward another love. And then someone equal just comes in with strength and goes, I love you. Because that's the other thing. You can love more than one person, as everyone knows. And that's really beautiful. So down here we have, it's not children. It's kind of like the little things in life that are meaningful to everyone. And it's all anchored. In this example, it's Fantasy Cabin. But in others, it's just whatever your chakra has built in togetherness of some kind. So Tayama actually has that with breath work and her other offerings, like with Catherine, where you guys have that too. And the legacy is of say this is Catherine and that's Tayama. You guys have breath, offering, prayer, meditation, and medicine offering within the honeymoon phase of that offering. Do you know what I mean? And then this is all the good stuff that comes with it. Friendship, laughs. I'm going to say fruit plates because that's my obsession. And just like food and stuff, I guess, because I just love food. But, you know, car rides, car trips, like having a bath at the creek, going for a run, smoking with a friend, whatever it is that you do, even going to a party. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about like purity. We're talking about how that is already purity. So that's wicked awesome. That's probably my favorite painting, and I probably want to give that to Tayama because I love her so much. So moving along. Is everyone okay? Anyone need a break? Your head spinning yet? All right, you're good. We got Baby Blue. This is a fantastic painting for me at this time because I don't have a husband. So anyone that's willing toward a long-term relationship who's not already in one, is it straight? Looks good. All right. So, and no matter who you love, of course, maybe you don't want a long-term relationship. Maybe you want something else long-term. Maybe you want to be a single mom with a daughter long-term. Maybe you want to frolic around, as I did with my little dog, long-term. So next, I'd like to have a child one day. So this is a painting for that. But of course, as you know, it's just like the symbol of that. So not everyone wants to have a child, but maybe you want to have an idea. So it's very much the foreground of what your idea might come to be. So it's not projected to like specifics ever, like that's just for my story, but it could be a garden. It could be a garden or an achievement or a career, or even buying a car or buying a truck or something where you're creating something that moves forward. So the car thing is like the smallest symbol of it, and a family would be a bigger symbol, or a career basis in spirituality. It doesn't have to be like Om Shanti spirituality, but even like becoming a film star. I'm just using examples from the room. Or traveling the world, going up to a mountain. Like Barb, your trip to the mountain could sit within this as like, I'm going up to the mountain and I gotta think for a minute. Like that's big. And so it'd have an anchor. It's a different kind of anchor. And it kind of actually resembles genitalia a little bit. And so does this. If you really look at it in that weird way, or like, man, that kind of looks like, I don't know. But it could be balls as well. And so it's like to have the balls to like walk up that mountain. Of course, you know, every body is different, every sexual experience is different, but it kind of has this like union at some point where like the idea hits the ground running and the garden can grow. So this kind of resembles, for me it was a death, because I had a breakup in order for me to have that same breakup, that same guy come back beyond the breakup. So we had to die, which sounds kind of ironic, but it's just actually a symbol that like, lay it to rest how it was, go up to the mountain, I'll just use the mountain experience, let that shit go, and then see what the sun wants to say to you, like the actual sun, because it's spiritual. So while that kind of has a fluid meaning, what it really kind of, the basis is like, grow strong constantly. And so each one will be very different. Like if you bought this painting as donation to Pueblo for the starving and the young women who have been berated in Peru, which is a travesty, but that's what this painting is about. May you grow with honor, and may nobody capture your dream on your behalf and use it at their will, because that's wrong. So these diamonds in place where your dreams were cute, where they were small and innocent. Like one day I'm gonna grow up and be a painter, and they're little, and then like God or spirit or the land or the earth, whatever you choose to pray to, even your father or mother would hold you. So this is that container, like a suitcase. Stick it all in there and help it grow. So this is the garden. May it grow from your intuitive side as a child. And may your inner mother and father, you know, your inner mother, your inner divine feminine, and your inner divine masculine, hold it. And may they not have to be put to rest anytime soon. So that's what that one means. And I love it so much. So I hope you like it.